Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. It's an exciting week to be a creator. We have a bunch of stuff coming out from a lot of camera companies. This video, I want to be talking about the brand new Nikon ZR. Now, I had the opportunity to get some hands-on experience with it out here in Utah just a couple of weeks ago. And I gotta say, this camera was pretty sweet to use. There are a few things that stood out to me, and I'll talk about them in this video while showing some of the things that we're able to make. I met up with my good friend Carl Meshner, and we had Full-Time Filmmaker on day one, and then we had our good friend Brandon Talbot with us on day two. Huge shout out to Kyle. He's the one who kind of allowed me to kind of join in on this experience, getting some hands-on time with the Nikon ZR. So this wouldn't have been possible without him. Can't thank him enough, but let's get right on into it. So first things first, do you need to go out? Okay, go tell mommy something. Okay, so first things first, the price, $2,198, absolutely insane. I don't like throwing around the term of FX3 killer. I don't think it's an FX3 killer. It just goes to show when this term gets thrown around that the FX3 is some kind of standard to this day. It's a almost 5-year-old camera now. And Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, they're all still trying to catch up, but this is an incredibly capable camera. Now I want to just set the tone, and I usually do this in my gear talking videos. Any camera these days is going to be good. What matters is what's going to improve your workflow, what's going to inspire you to get out and film. That's the biggest thing. And the most part is these days, it's about the ecosystem, what lenses are available. And the Nikon Z mount, it's very flexible. You can mount E-mount lenses with a razor thin adapter that has full autofocus capability. So if you want to keep your Sony lenses and try out the Nikon ZR, you have that opportunity. Okay, go ahead. Difficult doing it with him here, but he wanted to hang out whilst I was filming. So, what is up, buddy? Okay, all right. If you've seen my videos before, you know I don't like just chatting your ears off about specs, but because I was one of the few people who had the opportunity to get some hands-on experience, I will list out the specifications of this camera. I've got the link down below to Nikon's website where it goes into full detail, but the things that stand out the most, it has red code RAW. Now I think it's 12-bit, if I remember correctly. This is pretty huge, and I'm very new to the world of red, but this is the first camera that we've seen since the acquisition of red camera by Nikon. This is the first kind of collaborative camera that we have seen, and this is something that we've all been kind of holding our breath for, filmmakers alike, waiting to see what was going to come out, and this is their answer. And it is in that Sony FX3 style shape camera that we've seen take off so well, and we've got Canon coming out with their C50 that is very similar. But having all of that packed into such a small form factor is incredible. Now you've got all of the standard codecs that we're used to from Nikon, similar to the Z6 III. Now full disclaimer, my only experience with the current lineup of Nikon cameras is the Z6 III and the ZF. So my understanding is definitely a little limited, but I'm a filmmaker. I love to make videos. So the biggest thing for me was having a camera that just felt natural, and was the user experience something that I would enjoy. And let me tell you, the user experience was absolutely fantastic. I don't have the camera with me, and I really wish I did. And I didn't get as much. When you have just less than 2 days with a camera and you're sharing 2 cameras between like 4 other people, it's very limited of what you can capture. But going off of memory, it is similar to an FX3, but just imagine an FX3 without a grip. Okay, so here is that spec list. From the top, it's a 24.5 megapixel full frame sensor, 15 plus stops of dynamic range. Now, the biggest thing that stood out to me and I absolutely loved is the screen. It is a full 4-inch DCI P3 monitor with 1000 nits of peak brightness. It's something like 3070 pixels, whatever, so translate that as you will over 4 inches. But this thing is absolutely huge. 4 inches is a lot. And it's so big, you don't even need to use a monitor. Now with my Sony cameras, I use my iPhone, which I have right here with my notes on it. But it just felt like I was using that. And it meant when I went back to my FX3, the screen felt kind of gross. So that was my biggest takeaway. That just made the whole shooting experience just incredibly enjoyable. It was so clear, it was so crisp, and it was so bright. And we were filming in pretty much midday sunlight, and it didn't even feel like it. Like it was just, there was just so much clarity in that screen. It's definitely something I want to see from other manufacturers moving forward. I'm looking at my Sony screen right now, and there's just all that wasted space. And this was just literally edge to edge of screen on that flip out screen. It was just edge to edge monitor. Absolutely incredible, and that would be the winning factor of me buying it. Now I say that, and I'm going to run off the specifications real quick as I show you some B-roll. 24.5 megapixel sensor, 15 plus stops of dynamic range. I talked about that 4-inch monitor, DCI-P3 color, 1000 nits peak brightness. Now here's something really strange. It is a compact flash type B memory card and a micro SD memory card. I don't understand that. Codecs, so it's got the Red RAW, which is 12-bit. It's got Nikon NRAW, 12-bit, ProRes RAW HQ, ProRes 422 HQ, H.265 10-bit, 8-bit, and H.264 8-bit. This is something really interesting. It has 32-bit float audio capability. So it has the hot shoe, like that Mi shoe, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work with like the DJI mic for 32-bit float audio that can record internally into the camera, which is something really interesting. Definitely something a little bit beyond my understanding. I've never really dove into that or whatever. But if you want that option to have pretty much raw audio, then the ZR has you covered. Okay, so day 2, I met up with Kyle again. We got Jeff from Nikon and our good friend Brandon Talbot, who came to help us film some BTS. We went out to the dry lake bed in northern Utah. Me and Kyle both brought our Porsche 944s, and we decided to have some fun in the desert. And the biggest thing is we wanted to use this camera in a way that we would use it in our general everyday content. Now, one thing I neglected to mention in the specifications, this is a fanless camera. It is not like the FX3, FX30, or FX2, where it has vents for cooling. It is a completely fanless design, and Nikon stand by that it will not overheat. And let me tell you, we filmed for a good 5 or so hours in nearly 100 degrees, and neither of the two ZRs we had overheated. So I don't know what kind of magic that they've done, that they've put into this camera, but it is possible to make a camera without a fan that can record in red RAW and not overheat. And that was one of the things that just blew us away. So well done, Nikon. That's a huge accomplishment to make. And I really don't think that you can stress test it any more than what we did. Maybe Cam Mackey, I know he was filming in Arizona, may have been a little bit hotter. But yeah, we were pleasantly surprised. Anyway, enough of that.
When the battle is raging, which side are you taking? The choice could break you. So which side are you taking? The earth or sky?
It has dual base ISO at 800 and 6400. That is in red log. So 800 and 6400 in red log. And I think I cut it off here. Oh, and then in N-Log. Now this camera does have dual gain ISO. Forgive me for having my phone out, but I've just got all the notes here. So it has dual gain in red log of 800 and 6400, and then the exact same 800 and 6400 in N-Log. So if you don't want to use that red RAW or red log, and you just want to use standard Nikon log, then your ISO bases are going to be the exact same. It's not 12,800 standard, but let's be real. The 12,800 standard from the FX3 and the FX6, that's a 5+ year old sensor now. I think that the 6400 will be just as good, if not better. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test it in low light. Check out Cam Mackey. He might have done some low light testing. So check his video out if that's what you're looking for. Maybe he's done that. Nikon rates this camera of having 7.5 stops of in-body stabilization. I'm not sure if that is the maximum when paired with their lenses that have vibration control. Once again, I wasn't able to test that out thoroughly, but I did get this clip where I'm literally sprinting, holding the camera handheld with a Nikon lens, and it came up pretty steady. Okay, now the exciting thing about this camera, it is a hybrid camera. It's got a 24 megapixel sensor, so it's not like the FX3 or the ZVE1 with a 12 megapixel sensor. We have somewhat higher resolution, so it does take photographs. So if you're looking for a hybrid camera and you're in the Nikon ecosystem, this very well may be what you're looking for. Okay, now I want to talk about why I may not buy this camera. I'm pretty invested with Sony, although that being said, most of my lenses are manual focus cinema lenses that I can use on any camera body, and that's the main reason. I don't want to restrict myself with the cameras. Old cliche, you date the camera body, you marry the lens, and that's kind of my philosophy. That being said, in the brief that I got, it does not say that it has open gate, which it could and it should, because we know it's the Z6 III. It's basically the Z6 III sensor, don't quote me on that. And we know that that sensor is capable of doing open gate. But the biggest thing is, there was no mention of anamorphic D-squeeze. So there may be a video out there that comes out a few days or weeks later after mine that confirms or denies this. But as of this moment, there is no confirmation that it has anamorphic D-squeeze. Filmmakers want anamorphic D-squeeze. If it's a camera that you've made with red, why isn't it there? Please bring it to us in a firmware update. If you want to contend with the FX3 standard, then it needs anamorphic D-squeeze at a minimum. Now, no, not everyone is filming with anamorphic lenses, but there's no reason to not have it. It caters to more without affecting people who don't care about it. That's my rant over. Bottom line is, it's a sweet, sweet camera at a price that you really can't beat. And as I'm filming this on the 8th of, there's no date on this watch, the 8th of September, tomorrow, Canon released their C50, which I'm pretty excited for. All in all, it's just a great time to be a filmmaker. We've got some insane powerhouses coming out. Hopefully these cameras will kick Sony into gear a little bit, because I did cave and I am actually filming on the FX2 right now. I'm not sure why, but it all just kind of happened so fast. But that being said, Sony do need some real competition, because they have been resting on their laurels just a little bit too much. So that's pretty much all I have for you. If you have any questions that I didn't cover that I can answer, then just drop a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. Definitely check out Carl's video, check out Brandon's video, and Cam's video as well. Those are the guys who I know who had some experience. There's probably a couple of others also. Huge shout out to Jeff at Nikon. Huge thanks to Nikon for allowing me to have this opportunity to get some hands-on experience with a pre-release camera. First time doing it, would love to do it again. Any other camera manufacturers looking for this, hit me up. I've got a really cool Porsche. I can film some stuff with it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.